All right. Greetings, everyone. My name is Alex Heine, and welcome to the latest challenge implementing a mechanic designed by one of my peers into this tile-based game. So originally, I started with a tile inversion switch, and then in this case, I decided to use Jeremiah Marcia's mechanic of a soul swap bench. So as you approach the bench, you can then hit the input or interact key and then switch to the nearest character close to the, or at least touching on one of the neighbors of the entity item, the interactable entity. So, to start off with the levels, first one's rather simple, just basically switching over and opens up a new pathway that the player can eventually get to. So now we want to switch. We'll move it. And I kind of chose it so that you have to basically go back and remove some blocks that you may not need at the time being so that you can switch another one. So there I was using both the inversion tiles to kind of puzzle around as well as utilize the soul swap mechanic. So go up to it. Obviously these white spaces are safe spaces, so these ones are not going to change. And try to make a little bit of a puzzle out of it so that, as a player, you kind of have to choose the right ways to go to get to where you need to be. Ooh, whoops. That was not meant to happen. But as you can see, I'm just swapping back and forth with the soul switching, so that I can open kind of new pathways and push certain things out of the way. And then just finally get to the last player. So with that, I will show you some of the code. So um, it was rather simple, although it was definitely giving me a little bit of hiccups with the whole um, the camera angle. So the components that I had to add for this was a camera and it was an object reference of the camera actor. Um, Also, the interactable bench, it was just basically a cube that I moved a little bit, or that I scaled down a little bit so that it was around half the size of the other walls. But when we look at the camera actor, I made it instance editable because when you go back into the main editor view, it's much easier to click on the camera actor to make sure that that's what's going to be the camera for every soul swap. And also I had to make an other pawn variable, which was an object reference uh, of the pawn within the game. So this also had to be instance editable so that I could click on which pawn that I wanted to move to when approaching that bench. So it was rather easy to make. Obviously, it was just that cube brought in. and then just making sure that the code was correct on the interact. So through the interact, it's just going to go to the parent, and the player is going to get the controller. So once the interact is running, it's going to possess in the opposite pawn or the other pawn that you choose, which is instance editable, so you can click while in the editor. And then you're going to set that other pawn. Originally, I thought it was just able to set that pawn, but I then had to make sure that this set view target with blend was going to be possible. That way, it kind of locks the camera, but all in all, the camera actor was the main needed aspect. It was going to need to be instance editable so that it could be clicked on when utilizing that. The challenges that I certainly faced were, again, um, easily just like having it swap into first-person camera. I didn't really expect that to happen at all. Obviously, this was something that was done before. I just didn't think that having the camera make sure that it was set to each pawn was going to be an issue. So it was definitely took some tinkering and asking some questions of Jeremiah to kind of make sure that I was on the right path. But in the midst of it is actually kind of bittersweet because I was able to find an actual kind of problem that was going on within all of the code. So we were able to kind of figure that out and then understand that the camera actor has to be instance editable as well, so that you can constantly just click to it so that it remains at the same camera. So yeah, easily how it works is just basically you're just making sure that you have your player pawn or player controller as of right now. You're just going to possess in the other one when the interact comes, and you're going to set the other one to be the movable character or the movable pawn. And then finally, it's just making sure that the camera stays where it is, along with the camera actor here. So that is about it for the new mechanic with the inversion tile that I've been using. And thank you so much for watching.